Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm down at Mercedes Benz of Northlake, and behind me is a 2019 Mercedes Benz CLA 45 AMG. Huge shout out to them for providing this vehicle for me today. I will have all of their contact information down in the description below. This model is finished off in mountain gray metallic and has an MSRP just over $64,000. Under the hood is a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. This is only paired to the 7-speed dual clutch automatic with steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. This engine produces 375 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 350 pound-feet of torque at 2,200 RPM. It is all-wheel drive, weighs around 3,400 pounds. 0 to 60 can happen in around 4.1 seconds with a top speed of 155 miles an hour. And with a fuel capacity of 14.8 gallons, you can expect to see 23 miles per gallon in the city and 30 on the highway. The wheelbase measures 106.3 inches. It has an overall length of 183.8. The width is 70 inches and it has a height of 55.7 inches. Starting up front with the Mercedes-Benz logo right in the center of the grille. This also has a nice brushed aluminum trim piece running through the middle along with gloss black mesh behind it. This comes with projector beam LED headlights along with LED daytime running lights. There's a forward-facing camera along with 4 parking sensors, more gloss black in the lower section of the bumper, along with canards to each side, giving it a very aggressive appearance. The air inlets on each side have a nice design to provide even more cooling to the engine, along with a small space between the upper and lower grille right in the center. And then as we make our way up to the hood, there's very clean lines running throughout it. Moving to the side, this has 19 by 8 inch AMG wheels with a nice multi-spoke design. 4-wheel disc brakes are on all 4 corners. The front rotors measure 13.8 inches and 13 inches in the rear. The power folding side mirrors are finished off in gloss black and feature the integrated turn signal. Just behind the front tires, you'll see the Turbo AMG logo, and right above that we have a very distinctive line. It runs through the doors, just under the door handle, and right to the front of the back tires. There's even more gloss black trim on the lower side skirt. As we make our way up the door, you'll see it around the windows, and then on the roof is the panoramic sunroof. And finishing up in the rear with the gloss black trunk lip spoiler, this has LED taillights, a backup camera with rear sensors. In the lower section of the bumper, you'll see more gloss black, along with the quasi-style stainless steel dual exhaust. And on each side of the bumper, you'll see more air inlets to help direct air around the vehicle. Alright, so that's going to finish up the exterior walk around on the CLA AMG 45. What do you think of this vehicle? This is the first Mercedes that I've checked out. Honestly, I really like it. Even just driving it over here to this parking lot, I like the exterior styling of it, especially the gray against the wheels. And then for a sedan, it even has the canards on the front bumper. Gives it a really aggressive appearance. I love all the gloss black trim around it. But now with the key, we'll go ahead and check out the interior. As long as I have the key on me, I'll just place my hand in the door handle, put my thumb right over the sensor there, and it will automatically unlock. The door panels finish off in black leather with red stitching. You can see a nice brushed aluminum trim piece running underneath that, along with up on the release handle. Even more stitching in the middle of the door, and it continues on to the top section. You have all of your power seat adjustments along with the memory controls with your lock and unlock. Beneath that is all the window switches along with the side mirror controls. This has an 8-speaker sound system. You have the trunk release along with a little bit of storage space behind that. Moving inside now, we'll take a look at the black leather seats, even more red stitching. These are heated, have very nice bolstering support to them. They have a 10-way power adjustability with 4-way power lumbar support, and the front section of the seat is adjustable as well, just by pulling on that clip. Once inside, we're greeted with a fully wrapped Alcantara steering wheel. Even more red stitching running along the inside, and the red stripe right in the center. Has a very nice feel to it. AMG is down on the bottom, along with it being a flat bottom design and having even more brushed aluminum. On the right side, you have your Bluetooth controls along with the volume controls. On the left side, all of these will control the center screen. So with the vehicle on now, using those buttons on the left side of the steering wheel, we can take a look at your trip. You have your navigation and audio when those are on and running. We can look at your phone. Going into drive assist now, we can look at your brake assist, your attention assist, along with blind spot and lane keeping assist as well. Then we can scroll over, look at your tire pressure along with different settings like your lights, and then looking at vital information, your oil temperature, engine temperature, things like that. On the left side is your fuel along with the speedometer. You can see your gear selection right in the middle. Then you have your tach and engine temperature to the right. To the left of the steering wheel is the electronic parking brake along with the headlight controls. You have one air vent with more red trim surrounding that. The entire dash is covered in leather with more red stitching, has a really nice look to it. And then right in the middle is the 8-inch screen. In order to use this center screen, we're going to look down in the center of the console. You have a rotary dial, a back button, and a star button. So using this rotary dial, you can see I'm on navigation, now radio. In vehicle settings now, we'll just click on it again. You can control all of the interior lighting and exterior lighting all in this one screen here. So very cool to do. In the ambient light color, I can easily change whatever color you would like to see, so that is pretty neat to see. Going over into dynamic select, we can change a lot of different things. Looking at the engine data, we can have the screen purely show that. So you have your speedometer right in the center. It will show you your pound-feet of torque that you're using along with the horsepower. You have other vital information to the left and right of that. You can go into the transmission and configure that along with the drivetrain just by going down to the bottom, whether you want it in Sport, Sport Plus, or Comfort. You can even go to ESP and turn that on and off. And then just pulling up navigation full screen, you can view that and you can zoom in and out with the dial as well. Very nice to see that feature. And then if we hit that star button on the right side, that will bring you to basically your main screen. So you can see your navigation, radio, everything that I just showed you again. Beneath that screen, you have 3 air vents with more of that red trim. Alcantara covers the entire dash behind that, has a really nice look to it. You have one more passenger air vent to the side there. Right in the middle, you have even more physical buttons to go into the radio, media, navigation, everything like that, along with your phone controls with a dial pad on the right side. Right in the middle is your power and volume for the radio, and then just below that you have your heated seat controls for driver and passenger, along with traction control, your engine start-stop feature, and the active exhaust button. Down at the bottom, you have all of the AC controls. On the left and the right, you can control the temperature. You have the fan speed right in the center, along with more of the recirc controls. Behind that, you have a little cubby storage with a 12 volt. Moving on to the shifter now, in order to put it into reverse, we're just gonna push it all the way up. You'll see it activated. You have 2 different angles that you can look at. Right now, we have the full view. Moving over to the right side, you can see it kind of split a little bit, giving you more of a wide angle. So it's very nice to be able to go between both of those. As you just saw, you can see that light pole now even better with the wide view. Very nice to see. To put it into drive, we're just gonna go all the way back, and then to activate manual mode for the paddle shifters, we'll just push on this M here, and you'll see it light up on the gauge there with the gear that you're in. Very nice to see. And then to put it into park, we just push the P in the back. Behind that is the different driving modes. So you have individual, comfort, Sport, and Sport Plus. And you'll see that activate on the upper screen. You'll see the different modes that you're in along with how each one is configured. Or as I showed you earlier on the screen, you can go into each one individually and configure them how you'd like. Behind the shifter, you have the controls for the center screen again, along with 2 cup holders. The armrest here is covered in leather with more red stitching. You can slide it forwards and backwards if you'd like. And then opening this up, you have a good amount of storage space along with 2 USBs in the front side. Moving over to the glove box, you have a good amount of room down there. And then we'll take one last look at these leather seats. You will also notice the red seatbelts as well. That is a nice touch. And then up top, this has the panoramic sunroof. You have all of those controls right in the center, along with a sunglass holder and all your dome light switches. Now it's time to take a look at the rear seating. You can lock and unlock the vehicle from the back doors as well. So just by holding your finger over that sensor, they will automatically unlock. The door panels finish off just like up front with more of the red stitching. You can see the red seat belts again. I think that's a really nice touch. You even get those in the back. This is a 5-seater sedan, so let's go ahead and hop in. Once in the back here, one thing that I forgot to mention on the front seats, you have a nice cutout here, gives it a really cool design. As far as legroom goes, you can see my feet are just up underneath the seat, and I have a couple inches in front of my knees. I'm 5'10", I have the front seat set at my height, and then my head is just up against the roofline. They're very comfortable seats, however. I like the little bolstering that they have. The attention to detail in the back seats is just like up front. Looking at the center armrest now, you have obviously the armrest along with a cup holder on each side that you can easily pop out and place. And then we'll go ahead and take a look out of the rear glass. You definitely have a lot of visibility in the back seat, so it doesn't feel like it's too claustrophobic or anything like that. Down below there's 2 air vents along with a little storage pocket and a 12 volt. The back seats also have a 60-40 split to them, so just by pulling on this latch on the driver's side, I can go ahead and fold this down. You see just how much more room you have into the trunk space there. You can also put things through the seat as well, so putting the armrest down and opening this up, you have the option to do that. Now moving on to the trunk, I'm just going to pull the electronic button up underneath the Mercedes logo there. You have about 13 cubic feet of storage space with the back seats up, and when you fold them down, obviously you have a lot more room, as you just saw from the back seat room there. On the left side, you have a little net and a little bit of storage space. On the right side, it bulges out a little bit more. So if you have any golf clubs or anything like that, you have the extra room to the sides, which is nice to see. Little grab handle up top. We can go ahead and close it up. So getting the CLA 45 AMG out on the road now, the first thing that I want to talk about is how much I love the interior of this car. You have red accents everywhere, red stitching, the red on the center of the steering wheel, it's on the seat belts, as you can see. I really like that touch, especially with the exterior color. It gives it a good contrast and a nice premium feeling on the inside. Going along with that is the Alcantara steering wheel. It is so comfortable to feel, has great notches on both sides, and the paddle shifters are in a really good spot. I know that's kind of weird to say, being that they're right behind the steering wheel, but they feel aggressive for what they are. They're quite large. You definitely can put 4 fingers on the back and have a solid grip on the paddle shifters themselves. And then you have leather everywhere as well. The seats are leather. You have leather on the dash again with more Alcantara. It just has a really nice overall interior design to it. Now I think it's time to go ahead and put this into manual mode. So I'm just gonna push the button to the left of P there. We're gonna see the gear selection in the center of the screen there. So coming around this turn here from second gear, we'll give it a little bit of gas here. Definitely gets up and moves. And the exhaust is quiet right now. I don't have the active exhaust on, but we'll go ahead and do that. Just push on another button there, drop it a couple gears. That is definitely very quick. It sounds good, very responsive in the shifts, and taking some of these twisty roads here, very planted on the turns. You can hardly feel any of the body roll. Moving on to the general visibility now. Obviously looking forwards, it's a clear view. I like how thin the A-pillars are, makes it very easy to see between the mirrors at the same time. And they have a nice shape to them too, kind of like a rectangle. And then you can easily see over each shoulder, especially on your right side there. The pillar in the back isn't too bulky, and you have your side mirror to help you obviously at the same time. But you have clear visibility out of that rear glass, even looking at the rear view mirror as well. So we'll go ahead and give it another acceleration here. That exhaust sounds so good. And on the downshifts, those cracks and pops are really good sounding. It's not too loud either. It has a nice grunt to it. Even just from a mild acceleration there, you can't hear it, but at cruising speed, it goes away. It's a really nice, comfortable driving car. I like how insulated it is on the inside. So you can punch it, hear that exhaust, and then if you just want to cruise, I'm up to 7th gear. Very quiet on the inside. There's hardly any road noise or wind noise. It's a smooth driving car. On these back roads here, I haven't had any complaints with it. It's handling these turns well at the same time. Whew. You can't feel too much body roll. I am in Sport Plus right now, which is obviously the most stiff suspension, and it's taking these turns very well. It feels super planted, but at the same time, being in Sport Plus, I don't feel any changes in how the suspension rides. It's not harsh, it's not super stiff. This is a great road to drive this car on. It has plenty of power to get out of these turns at the same time. It's just a fun driving sedan to have. You can have your friends in here. I wouldn't say this is necessarily like a track car, but on the back roads here, I mean, it's so much fun for back mountain cruising. Well guys, I think that's gonna wrap up my walk around review and test drive in the 2019 Mercedes Benz CLA 45 AMG. Huge thanks again to Mercedes Benz of Northlake for providing this vehicle for me today. I will have all their contact information down in the description below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in tomorrow's video.